How's it going? It's Chaddypete here again. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I am an eBay clothing reseller. I sell mainly men's clothing and anything else I can find really. So yeah, let's get into it. So I get quite a few messages about my shed and like how big it is and all that stuff. But mainly the question that people ask is how do I store my items and how do I get them back out and stuff. So I'm going to be talking about that today. I'll be talking about when you should start an inventory, like when should you actually start putting things away and actually, you know, like making a note of where things are going and stuff like that. What method I use to storing clothing and other items. There are a few ways you can do it, but I will talk about the way I do it and then probably one more way that you can do it. I'm not the biggest fan of that way, but it might be beneficial for someone else as well. How I actually store the items and how I retrieve them, because obviously it's all well and good putting them in there, but if I can't get them back out, then obviously we've got problems, haven't we? So I'll be showing you how to do that. And then what I can do if I lose an item. So say if I input it all in and stuff and it just goes missing, I'll show you a way that I get it out. So yeah, let's get going on with it. Now I just want to add, this isn't probably the best way to do it. It's probably like a mad ghetto way, to be honest. But for me, I've been doing this for like 2 years like this. And at one point, obviously pre-lockdown, I had about 900 items and it seemed to work, to be honest. It was actually working for me quite well. I was able to like pack like 40 items on a weekend, 50 items on a weekend, something like that. So it worked for me. And so it might work for one of you guys. Obviously, if you haven't got much room or you want to just keep it really simple, then this might be a beneficial one for you to watch. At the end of the day, you just got to work with what you're blessed with, aren't you? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, don't you? So yeah, let's get cracking. Anyway, you might have noticed that it's changed slightly from my videos. If you look at my other videos, I normally had it on this wall here, but now I've changed this bit into a kind of like a photography station. I've not put my my whiteboard thing up yet. So I moved it just because I feel like I was getting like a lot of dead space on this side. It was just my thing here, like I was taking pictures here and that was it. But now I've got this whole back wall now to put boxes on. So now I've got space for like another 20 boxes, I say. So yeah, I'm just now working on that and just cracking on with it, yeah. So when should you start using inventory? My advice would be as soon as you have to put your items in more than one place. So whether that's in an IKEA bag or whether that's in like 2 boxes or something like that, as soon as you have to put it in 2 places, then I think you should start an inventory, because you'll start to struggle if, you know, you're having to try and find stuff and you don't know where it is and you're just wasting double the time by doing that kind of stuff. So that's what I think you should be doing. When I started, I just literally had an IKEA bag. In fact, I probably got the same IKEA bag somewhere. Let's have a look. I started off with an IKEA bag like this. I used to just literally write like a bit of Sharpie on the side of it, just like an A, letter A or something. And that's how I started. That was it. But I used to have a book which I used to just write all my stuff in, and then I would have like just write my item and then just put the letter of the bag that was in. Normally, because I only had like maybe like 50 items or so, I just did it like that. It was the easiest way for me to do it. And so I just go through my book to see where the thing was, and that was it. So the method I use for storing items is what they call like a random method. I believe Amazon uses the same method, to be honest. Basically, just to break it down, I believe there's 2 main types of storing that you can do. There's like the random and then there's by type. So with type, you can say like you just do all your t-shirts at once, or you do all your trousers or all your jeans or whatever, and you put them all in the same place and then you just retrieve when you need them. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of that one, because if I had like, let's say 2 jeans are the same size and the same color and everything, but one had a rip in it and one didn't, then if they're in a rush and they take one out, it's literally a 50% chance if they get the right one. I'm not the biggest fan of it because it leaves yourself open to picking up the wrong item or being in a rush and not being able to find the exact one you want. I find the random method easier. So with the random method, let me just see, just grab a random box. So in here, we've got a vest, a t-shirt, a jumper, another t-shirt, and a pair of boots. So when I'm going to pick the item, I know what I'm going to be finding straight away. It's going to be a lot easier for me to do it because I'll be able to see what I need straight away. Instead of having to kind of like claw through like loads of t-shirts or claw through loads of jumpers, I just know maybe 1 or 2 jumpers in there. There'll be different colors, like the boots are in there. So you're always going to be able to pick up what you need to find. I think Amazon do it in a way like they'll have like a t-shirt and a blender in the same box. So it's just easier just to retrieve your items. Now I use clear boxes only because I like to see what's in there. So straight away I know there's a pair of trainers in here. There's a Tommy Hilfiger shirt here. Look here. You see this Lee jumper. I just like having a clear box because if I do lose something by the off chance, then sometimes it might just be like in the box above or the box below. I can just see it straight away instead of having to mess about too much. But again, the problem with having clear boxes is if you're getting a lot of light coming in, it can sun fade your items. So again, it's just weighing the pros and cons at the end of the day, just to see what's the best way to do it for yourself. Now, the only problem I have with my storage system is I don't have any shelves. As you can see, they're all stacked on top of each other. Now, obviously, it's one of them things there where it takes a little bit more time because you have to like take the boxes off. But I was reading, I'm not sure if I pronounce his name, Friedrich Nietzsche, and he talks about basically his whole philosophy is don't make your life too comfortable, and that could be something as well. Maybe I'm just making excuses for myself. So I know I need to get shelves, but for the meantime, it doesn't really bother me, to be honest, because I'm trying to get wedged. So I need to be moving boxes more often. I ain't got a gym. Gym's been locked down, so I need to start like throwing boxes about, you know, just to keep your biceps working. You know what I mean? It doesn't really bother me. It might take a little bit more time, but in the end of the day, it doesn't bother me. I mean, when I normally take stuff out, which I'll be going into, I just do it row by row, so I'm not flitting about, just going over different rows and just wasting my time, like moving more boxes than necessary. Again, get shelves if you can, but if you don't want to get shelves, you want to get wedged, then just do it the way I do it. So I'm going to talk about how I store my items, how I retrieve my items as well. So I'll talk about first how I store my items. As you can see here, I've got these 2 resealable bags. Like if you say, like it's like the, you know, you just click them in. I have 2 sizes. I'll put the sizes below in the description because I forgot what the size are. I think one's like 1724, the other one's like 1612, something like that. Anyway, I use these normally for like t-shirts, jeans can fit in them sometimes, smaller jumpers, and then I use this for like bigger items like bigger jeans, big jumpers. Sometimes I can fit coats in here and stuff. And as you can see, they're quite wrinkled as well because I like to recycle them. I don't like to send them off because all that happens when I send it to someone, you just chuck it in the bin, don't they? That's the main 2 I use. And if I can't put them in one of these or one of these, then I just put them in raw. Do you know what I mean? There's no point. If it's that big, then I'm going to find it regardless, and it's not going to really cause me any problems. When I'm retrieving the items, I actually put my custom label code in eBay. On the eBay listings, you'll probably see in a minute, they have a column for custom labels. I just put the custom label in, and so the custom label I normally use is something like this. So let's say I'm putting in Y. I'll put Y and the date I put it in, so it'd be like Y dash, I don't know, like 29th of March 2021, something like that. It looks like it's a big posh code, but it's actually nothing. It's just a date and a box number. When I go through my orders, I just literally just find the custom label code and then I just find the box, and that's it. It's so simple. It's stupid. I've seen that people use individual item codes. Now, there probably is a reason why for it, but I think I'm too dumb to understand what that is. I find it's difficult because, I don't know, I just feel like it just takes a little bit more time to do stuff because you have to input all these different numbers and then attach it to a different item of clothing. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe there might be like a way better way of explaining it, and it actually might be way better when I'm doing it. However, I found that the way I've done it for the last couple of years, it just works for me. You know, it's not too complicated. If I just open up a box, it's there. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, like item codes, maybe on other YouTube channels you'll see that people use item codes and you probably benefit from that. But again, it's just going with what you feel, and I'm a bit of a simpleton, do you know what I mean? So yeah. Now, obviously, we've got everything in the boxes, everything's good, we've got our custom labels, we're just pulling them out when we need to. But what happens if a label's not there and it's just missing and we're screwed then, aren't we? Probably are, to be honest, if you haven't done the necessary precautions. So when I first get my items in, I put them all into a spreadsheet. I stick them all in a spreadsheet just because I like to know how much I spent, but it's also a good way to help me know where stuff is, just in case it's like an emergency measure. So it's not exactly the best way of doing it, but I could do it a lot better if I, for example, put all the letters in to my spreadsheet as well, of the boxes as well. But I don't do that because 1, I'm lazy, 2, it doesn't happen often enough for me to do it, so I've just kind of left it on the back burner for a little bit. So let's say you've got a missing label on an item. What I'll do is I'll go to my spreadsheet, find the item, and then I will look above and below the item. Maybe like 2 above, maybe 3 above, 3 below. And then what I'll do is I'll then go into my listings and go look at those above and below items just to see where those are. And normally they're in the same boxes. So it'd be like, let's say it's in box X. When I look at the other items, it could be in box A7 or box Q. And then I'll look at that and just think, okay, so it's going to be in those 3 boxes. Now it's a proper getaway of doing it, you know, like that's looking through 3 boxes. But you find the item. Now, worst case scenario literally is, can't find it with that method, can't even find it at all. Then you have to think then, is it worth the effort of going through all your boxes to find the item? Now, For me, probably I could do it if I really needed to. If it's like a £300 item, I'd go for every box, and I'd go through every box twice. But if it was like a £5 item, you know, you got to then measure your losses and stuff. You got to then work out, is it best to cancel the item? Obviously apologize. You could be opening yourself up to a neg and all that kind of stuff. But is it worth your time? And that's what you got to think of. And so, yeah, that's pretty much, that's the only advice I can give with losing an item. Basically, prevention is better than cure. So in next week's video, I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that I've sold again. I like doing sold ones because I just love selling stuff. That's it, you know what I mean? So I'll be talking about some solds I've done. But at the end of the day, when it comes to like the storage here, it's, again, I find it quite easy to do. There are so many different ways of doing it. If you want to do it a different way, then please feel free to do so, because it's one of them things, if it's difficult for you this way, that's fair enough. The whole theme of this video is find some storage. You need to start inventorizing your stuff so that you can get it out quicker and be able to ship it off quicker as well. So if you found this video useful, please like it and please subscribe as well if you want to. Obviously, I'll be doing like a lot more videos as well. Obviously, the shops will be opening up soon, so I'll be doing some thrifting and stuff like that, and I'm so excited for that. Tune in next week, I'll be doing another sold video just about some of the things that I've gone. But yeah, thanks for coming in, and I'll see you next time.